99% of women want this from a man, but they will almost never say it out loud. They want you to notice what they are not saying. That is where most men fail, folks. They wait for direct instructions. They ask, "What do you want? What should I do? Tell me what you need." But female desire does not always speak like a business meeting. It often shows up in tone, eye contact, body language, little pauses, the way she moves closer, the way she asks your opinion, the way she softens when your presence feels safe. Maybe you have missed these moments before, my friend. She was tired but never asked for care. She wanted a hug but only stood closer. She wanted to feel desired but tested whether you would notice her dress, her confidence, her quiet signals. She wanted protection, not control, warmth, not weakness, desire, not pressure. A high-value man understands this. He does not rush. He does not guess wildly. He observes. He listens. He respects boundaries. He responds with calm, masculine presence, whether that means a thoughtful compliment, a steady hug, a hand on her back at the right moment, or simply sharing his thoughts and dreams so she feels trusted. In this video, you will learn the hidden things many women appreciate but rarely say directly, and how to respond like a Stoic man with confidence, care, and respect without becoming needy, careless, or too aggressive. Let's get into it. Number 1. Read her hidden signals. Let's be real, folks. A woman will not always hand you a clear instruction manual. She may not say, "I need you to notice me." She may not say, "I want comfort right now." She may not say, "I want to feel desired, protected, understood, or emotionally close to you." But she will often show it. And the man who can read those hidden signals without rushing, assuming, or acting desperate becomes different from the rest. Most men miss this because they are either too distracted or too hungry. The distracted man does not notice anything. He is looking at his phone, talking over her, waiting for obvious words. The hungry man notices too much and turns every smile, every dress, every soft look into proof that she wants him. Both men fail. A high-value man observes calmly. Think about David, 54, a project manager in Denver. He had been dating Rachel, 48, a woman who worked in healthcare administration. Rachel was confident, feminine, and warm, but she did not always say exactly what she wanted. After a long week, she came over to David's place. She said she was fine, but her voice was lower than usual. Her shoulders were tense. She sat closer on the couch than normal, but she did not ask for anything. Old David would have missed it. He would have kept talking about work, turned on the game, or asked what is wrong in a way that made her feel like a problem to solve. But this time he paid attention. He noticed the tired eyes, the quiet body language, the way she leaned toward him without saying much. So he slowed down. He said, "Come here for a second." No pressure, no performance. He put his arm around her, let the room stay quiet, and gave her a steady place to land. Rachel did not need a speech, she needed presence. And because David read the signal, she softened. That is what many women rarely say directly. They want a man who can notice without being told every little thing. Not a mind reader, not a servant. A man with emotional awareness. A man who understands that tone, timing, eyes, posture, distance, silence, and small changes in behavior all carry information. But here is the warning, my friend. Reading signals does not mean inventing stories. If she dresses well, that does not automatically mean she wants you to make a move. If she stands close, that does not mean you ignore boundaries. If she talks about attraction, that does not mean you rush. A mature man reads the whole picture. He looks for consistency, comfort, context, and mutual energy. That is the Stoic part. You observe before reacting. You control your impulse. You do not let desire make you foolish. Epictetus said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak. In relationships, that means listen with more than your ears. Listen with your eyes. Listen to what her body relaxes around. Listen to what makes her pull away. Listen to what she repeats without saying directly. A woman may ask your opinion on her outfit because she wants to feel seen. She may linger near you because she wants closeness. She may share something personal because she is testing trust. She may speak with playfulness because she wants tension. But your job is not to pounce. Your job is to respond with calibrated confidence. David did not force the moment. He read it, respected it, and met it with calm, masculine care. That is the difference. If you are ready to become a man who notices what others miss, write this in the comments. I notice signals. Stay with me, because the next part shows how calm physical care can create connection without pressure, neediness, or careless intensity. Number 2. Offer calm physical care. Now listen closely, folks, because calm physical care is one of the most underrated forms of masculine presence. A woman may not always say, "I need you to help my body relax." She may not ask for comfort directly. She may not tell you that her shoulders are tight, her mind is overloaded, and what she wants most is not another lecture, but a steady man who can make the room feel safe. This is where many men miss the moment. They think care has to be dramatic, big speeches, expensive gifts, grand plans. But sometimes the thing she remembers is much quieter. A hand resting gently on her shoulder when the timing is right. A calm hug after a long day. Offering to rub her neck while she sits beside you, only if the trust and comfort are already there. Not rushed, not hungry, not trying to turn care into access. Calm physical care says, "I am paying attention." And understand this clearly, my friend. Touch without awareness is not masculine, it is careless. A high-value man does not touch because he feels entitled. He does not turn every moment of softness into a move. He reads comfort. He respects boundaries. He asks when needed. He notices whether she relaxes or pulls away. His strength is not in taking space, but in creating safety inside the space. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are impatient, selfish, or desperate, your touch will carry that energy. She will feel it. But if your thoughts are steady, respectful, and present, your touch becomes different. It becomes grounding. It becomes care instead of pressure in the moment. That is the key. A simple massage in the right relationship can become more than physical relief. It can become a wordless message. "I see your stress. I notice your effort. I care enough to help you rest." After a long day when she has been carrying work, family pressure, and the constant noise of life, that kind of calm attention can reach places your words cannot, especially when your silence, patience, and hands all carry the same respect. But do not misunderstand this. You are not using care as a trade. You are not giving a massage because you expect something back. You are not turning comfort into a hidden contract. A Stoic man gives from self-command, not from need. He offers care because it is aligned with his character, and if it is not welcomed, he respects that without irritation. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." In relationships, kindness is not weakness when it comes from strength. It is the disciplined ability to notice another person's burden without making yourself smaller. A strong man can be tender without becoming needy. He can be physically present without becoming pushy. He can offer warmth without losing frame. That balance is rare, folks. Women often feel the difference between a man who touches to get and a man who touches to care. One creates tension in the wrong way. The other creates trust. When your physical care is calm, respectful, and timed well, it tells her that your masculinity is controlled. You are not ruled by impulse. You can hold desire and still lead with respect. So offer calm physical care when the relationship timing and comfort allow it. Notice her stress. Offer steadiness. Let your presence say what loud words cannot. A woman may never ask for it directly, but many remember the man who helped them feel safe inside their own body. If you are ready to lead with controlled care, write this in the comments. I touch with care. Stay close, because the next part shows why a steady hug can speak louder than a dozen promises again. Number 3. Hold her with presence. Let's be honest, folks. A hug is not just two bodies touching. When it comes from the right man at the right time with the right intention, it becomes a message her nervous system understands before her mind can explain it. It says, you are safe here. You can breathe here. You do not have to carry the whole world alone for a moment. That is presence. Most men either underestimate this or misuse it. The weak man avoids emotional closeness because he thinks tenderness makes him less masculine. The needy man rushes into closeness because he wants reassurance. But a high-value man does neither. He holds with calm. He does not grab. He does not cling. He does not turn every hug into a demand. He gives a woman a steady place to land, and that steadiness is what makes the gesture powerful. Think about Robert, 57, a retired firefighter in Columbus. He had been dating Angela, 51, a corporate trainer who spent her days leading rooms, solving problems, and keeping her composure in front of everyone. Angela was strong. She was polished. She knew how to handle pressure. But strength does not mean a woman never wants to feel held. One evening, Angela came over after a brutal week. Her mother had been sick, work had been heavy, and she was tired of being the responsible one. She walked into Robert's kitchen and said, "I'm fine," the way people say it when they are not fine at all. Her shoulders were tight. Her smile was forced. Her eyes looked like they had been fighting sleep and worry for days. Robert could have asked a dozen questions. He could have tried fixing everything. He could have given advice. But he had enough experience to know that sometimes a woman does not need a solution first. She needs presence. So he stepped closer and said, "Come here." Soft voice, firm energy, no drama. Angela leaned into him and he held her. Not in a rushed way, not with wandering hands, not like a man trying to turn comfort into something else. He simply held her with weight, warmth, and patience. After a few seconds, her breathing changed. Her body relaxed. The woman who had been carrying everyone else finally stopped bracing. That is what a real hug can do. It is not about showing off affection. It is not about proving you are romantic. It is about making your body, your breath, and your silence communicate what your mouth does not need to say. I am here. I am steady. You are not alone in this moment. A woman may never admit how much she wants that. She may never say, "I need you to hold me like I matter." But when she feels it from a man who respects her, she remembers. Because so many men touch without presence. They are physically close, but emotionally scattered. They hug while looking at the phone. They hold but rush. They are near but not there. Do not be that man. When you hold her, be there fully. Put the phone away. Let your breath slow. Keep your hands respectful. Notice whether she softens or pulls back. If she pulls back, you release without ego. If she leans in you, stay steady without trying to take more than the moment offers. That is masculine control. Robert did not solve Angela's week, but he gave her something rare, a space where she could stop defending herself. And from that night forward, she trusted his presence differently. If you are ready to become the kind of man whose presence feels safe and strong, write this in the comments. I create safety. Stay with me, because the next part shows how respectful flirting creates desire without making you look needy or careless. Number 4. Flirt with quiet confidence. Let's get something straight, folks. Flirting is not begging for attention. It is not throwing cheap compliments at a woman until one finally lands. It is not trying to sound clever, naughty, or smooth every second of the conversation. Real flirting is controlled tension. It is warmth with restraint, interest without hunger, desire without pressure. That is why quiet confidence wins. Most men either say too much or hide too much. One man talks like he is auditioning, complimenting everything, laughing too hard, leaning too far in trying to prove he has charm. Another man feels attraction but freezes, acts overly polite, and hopes she somehow reads his mind. Neither one creates real pull. One feels needy, the other feels invisible. A high-value man flirts differently. He lets his attention carry weight. He notices something specific. Not just "you look hot," that is lazy. He might say that color suits you. It makes you look dangerous in a calm way. or you have a way of making a room slow down when you walk in. See the difference? He is not grabbing, he is observing. He gives her the feeling of being seen without making himself look desperate for a reaction. Marcus Aurelius said the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Bring that into flirting, my friend. If your thoughts are desperate, your words will feel desperate. If your thoughts are respectful, steady and masculine, your words will carry that color. A woman can feel whether your compliment comes from self-control or hunger. Quiet, confident flirting is also playful. It does not need to be heavy. It does not rush into intimacy. It creates a spark and gives it room to breathe. You make eye contact for a second longer than usual, then relax. You smile like you know what you are saying, but you do not need applause. You tease lightly without cutting her down. You compliment her presence, style, intelligence, or energy in a way that makes her feel feminine, not evaluated like an object. That balance matters. A woman may enjoy feeling desired, but she does not want to feel hunted. She may like tension, but she does not want pressure. She may appreciate a man who notices her beauty and confidence, but she wants to know he also has discipline. This is what separates masculine flirting from immature chasing. The immature man tries to get something. The mature man creates a moment. Epictetus reminded us that no man is free who is not master of himself. If you cannot control your tongue, your eyes, your timing, or your impulses, then your desire owns you. And when desire owns a man, he becomes easy to read and easy to dismiss. But when a man can hold desire without spilling it everywhere, he becomes more compelling. Folks, if you want deeper members-only lessons on Stoic communication, masculine confidence, and creating attraction without neediness or pressure, join the channel membership. Inside, we go further into real conversations, timing boundaries, and how to speak with controlled desire like a man who understands himself. So flirt with quiet confidence. Say less but make it mean more. Notice what other men miss. Let your voice stay calm. Let your body stay relaxed. Let your interest be clear enough to create tension, but disciplined enough to make her feel safe. And remember, respectful flirting is not about conquering a woman. It is about creating a moment where both of you feel alive, seen, and drawn into the same current. If you are ready to flirt with discipline and presence, write this in the comments. I flirt respectfully. Stay tuned, because the next part shows how protective touch can guide her safely without making you seem controlling or careless. Number 5. Guide with protective touch. Let's be real, folks. A woman may never say, "I want you to guide me," with calm, masculine presence. But in the right moment, with the right comfort, already built, a simple, protective touch can speak louder than a long speech. Not a grab, not a claim, not some careless move because you think her body is yours to direct. A high-value man does not touch to control. He touches to reassure. He touches only when trust, timing, and mutual comfort are already present. That is the difference between a man who makes a woman feel safe and a man who makes her feel guarded. Protective touch is subtle. A hand lightly placed on her upper back as you guide her through a crowded restaurant. A steady palm near her shoulder as you move through a busy sidewalk. A gentle touch that says, "I am aware of the room, I am aware of you, and I am not asleep beside you." It is not about showing ownership. It is about showing presence. Think about James, 56, an architect in Boston. He had been dating Claire, 49, a woman who worked in university administration. Claire was smart, composed, and independent. She did not need a man to rescue her from life, but she appreciated a man who could move through the world with awareness. One Saturday evening, James and Claire went to a crowded jazz bar downtown. The room was tight, people were moving between tables, and a group near the entrance was loud and careless. As they walked through, James noticed Claire slowing slightly, trying to avoid being bumped. He did not make a scene. He did not puff his chest. He did not act like some cartoon protector. He simply stepped beside her, placed a light hand on her back, and guided her through the crowd with calm confidence. Claire noticed, not because the gesture was dramatic, because it was controlled. It told her he was paying attention. He saw the environment. He saw her comfort. He adjusted without needing applause. That kind of masculine awareness is rare, my friend, and women feel it. But here is the line you must never cross. Protective touch only works when it is welcome. If her body stiffens, if she pulls away, if she seems uncomfortable, you stop immediately. No ego, no attitude, no wounded pride. A real man does not force closeness. He reads response and respects it. This is where many men fail. They hear that women like protective touch, and they turn it into a technique. They touch too early, too often, too confidently without consent. That is not masculine. That is immature. The power of this gesture comes from sensitivity, not entitlement. James understood this. He and Claire already had warmth between them. They had held hands before. She was comfortable sitting close to him, so that light hand on her back felt natural, not invasive. It matched the connection. That is what you must remember. The same gesture can feel protective or uncomfortable depending on timing, trust, and context. A Stoic man pays attention before he acts. He does not let desire make him careless. He does not assume her clothing, her smile, or her softness gives him permission. He watches the whole picture, her energy, her comfort, her pace, her response. Then he moves with calm confidence. Protective touch is not about dominance. It is about steadiness. It says, I am here, I am aware, and I will not let the world push through you while I stand beside you asleep. That is the kind of quiet leadership many women appreciate, but rarely ask for directly. So guide with protective touch only when it is earned by trust and welcomed by comfort. Keep it light, keep it respectful, keep it calm. Let her feel your awareness, not your pressure. If you are ready to lead with respect and control, write this in the comments. I protect trust. Stay with me because the next part shows why standing up for her calmly can make her feel safer than any loud display of strength. Number 6. Stand up for her calmly. Let's be clear, folks. Standing up for a woman does not mean acting loud, reckless, or aggressive. Any fool can raise his voice. Any insecure man can puff his chest, create drama, and call it protection. But a high-value man knows the difference between strength and noise. Real protection is calm. Many women appreciate this more than they will ever say directly. They want to know that if a situation gets uncomfortable, disrespectful, or tense, the man beside them will not freeze, disappear, or make it worse. They want to feel that he sees what is happening, understands the moment, and can step in with control. Not to dominate her, not to treat her like she is helpless, but to stand beside her in a way that says, I am here, and I will not let disrespect pass through this space unchecked. That kind of masculine presence is powerful. Marcus Aurelius said the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Remember that when someone tests the room. If another person is rude, you do not become rude. If someone tries to humiliate her, you do not lose your mind. If the situation becomes tense, you do not feed the fire with ego. You stay composed. You address what needs to be addressed. You protect the dignity of the moment. A weak man reacts from pride. A strong man acts from principle. There is a big difference. Standing up for her calmly can be as simple as saying that was unnecessary in a steady voice, or we are not doing that here. Or she already gave you her answer. No shouting, no insults, no performance. Just a clean line drawn with quiet authority. And sometimes standing up for her means removing both of you from the situation. A mature man does not need to win every argument in public. He knows when to speak and when to leave. He understands that real leadership is not about proving he can fight. It is about making wise choices under pressure. Epictetus taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. If you cannot master your temper, you cannot protect anyone properly. Your anger may feel strong, but uncontrolled anger makes everyone less safe. A woman does not want to wonder whether your protection will become another problem she has to manage. She wants steadiness. This is why calm matters so much. When you stand up for her with control, she feels respected, not embarrassed. She feels supported, not overpowered. She feels that your masculine energy is disciplined enough to defend without destroying the room. That is rare, my friend. But hear this carefully. Standing up for her does not mean speaking over her. It does not mean assuming she needs you to handle every uncomfortable moment. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is quietly check in with her. Do you want me to step in? Do you want to leave? Are you okay? That shows awareness. It shows you respect her agency while still being ready to act. A high-value man protects without controlling. He supports without making himself the center. He acts when action is needed, and he stays quiet when quiet is wiser. This is the kind of strength women remember. Not the loud man trying to impress strangers, but the steady man who can hold the line without losing himself. The man whose presence makes her feel safer, because his power has discipline behind it. So stand up for her calmly, be alert, be respectful, be firm. Do not escalate to feed your ego. Do not stay silent to avoid discomfort. Find the middle path where courage meets control. If you are ready to protect with calm strength, write this in the comments. I protect calmly. Stay with me, because the next part shows why sharing your inner world can create deeper intimacy than any surface-level charm. Number 7. Share your inner world. Let's be real, folks. A woman may enjoy your confidence, your strength, your calm touch, and the way you lead in public. But if she never gets access to your inner world, something stays missing. Surface charm can attract her for a while. Depth is what makes her feel chosen. Most men misunderstand this. They think sharing means dumping every wound, fear, complaint, and old heartbreak onto a woman just because she gave them a soft place to talk. That is not depth. That is emotional flooding. A high-value man does not spill himself everywhere. He reveals with purpose. He lets her see the man behind the face, the mission behind the schedule, and the dreams behind the discipline. Think about Michael, 58, a dentist in Charlotte. He had been dating Susan, 52, a woman who owned a small design studio. Susan liked Michael. He was stable, well-dressed, respectful, and masculine in a quiet way. But after several months, she started feeling like she only knew the outer layer. He could talk about restaurants, work, golf, and current events, but never what truly moved him. One evening they sat on his back patio after dinner. Susan asked him where he saw his life going in the next 10 years. Old Michael would have joked and changed the subject. He did not like feeling exposed. But this time he paused and told her the truth. He said he wanted to sell part of his practice, spend more time mentoring young dentists, and build a lake house where his grown kids could bring their families. He admitted that after his father died, he started thinking more seriously about legacy. Not money, not status. Legacy. What kind of man people would remember him as. Susan got quiet, but not in a bad way. She leaned in. That is the power of sharing your inner world. You are not just giving information. You are letting her feel that there is more inside you than routine desire and control. You are showing her direction. You are showing trust. You are giving her a bridge into your mind without making her carry your whole emotional burden. A woman often wants this, but she may never ask directly. She may not say, "Tell me your fears. Tell me what you dream about. Tell me what kind of life you are trying to build." Instead, she listens for openings. She notices whether you keep everything locked behind humor or silence. She wonders if there is a place for her in the deeper parts of your life. But remember this, my friend, sharing your inner world does not mean losing your mystery. It means revealing depth in layers. You share enough to create intimacy, not so much that you become emotionally dependent on her reaction. You tell her what matters to you, where you are headed, what you have learned, what you are still building. You let her see strength with humanity inside it. Michael did not become weaker when he opened up. He became more attractive because his strength finally had meaning behind it. Susan saw a man with a past, a future, and a purpose. Not just a man taking her to dinner. So share your inner world with control. Speak about your dreams. Speak about your lessons. Speak about what you are building. Let her know there is a real man under the calm exterior, but never beg her to validate it. If you are ready to build deeper connection through honest strength, write this in the comments. I share depth. Stay with me, because the next part shows how to notice her intimate cues without rushing, assuming, or losing respect. Number 8. Notice her intimate cues. Let's be honest, folks. A woman's intimate cues are not permission slips. They are signals to be noticed with maturity, patience, and respect. This is where a lot of men get foolish. They hear her talk about attraction, see her dress with more confidence, feel her sit a little closer, and suddenly their imagination starts driving the car. That is not masculine. That is impulse. A high-value man notices intimate cues without rushing into conclusions. He understands that desire often speaks indirectly, but he also understands that not every signal means the same thing. A woman may ask how her dress looks because she wants to feel seen. She may talk about chemistry because she wants to test emotional tension. She may share a private fantasy because she trusts you enough to reveal a part of her inner world. She may sit closer because she feels safe. But none of that gives you the right to push past her comfort. This is where Stoicism matters. Epictetus taught that freedom begins with mastering what is in your control. Your desire is in your control. Your pace is in your control. Your response is in your control. Her feelings, her timing, her readiness, and her boundaries are not yours to command. A man who cannot respect that is not powerful. He is just uncontrolled. So notice the full picture. Listen to her tone. Watch whether her body relaxes or tightens. Pay attention to whether she leans in naturally or pulls back. Notice if her words and actions match over time. One bold outfit does not tell the whole story. One playful joke does not define her intention. One conversation about attraction does not mean she wants you to move fast. Mature attraction is read through patterns, not isolated moments. And my friend, when she shares something private, do not turn it into pressure. If she talks about what she likes, listen with calm interest. Do not mock it. Do not overreact. Do not immediately make it about you. A woman who opens a private door wants to know whether you have enough discipline to stand there respectfully. Your reaction will either make her feel safer or make her regret trusting you. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Apply that here. Do not say something seductive just because you think it will work. Do not act confident when you are actually being careless. Do not use her openness as a shortcut to access. Move only where respect, mutual comfort, and clear willingness are present. That is the difference between a man and a boy. A boy gets excited and rushes. A man observes, slows down, and creates safety around desire. He can hold tension without cheapening it. He can enjoy a woman's beauty without reducing her to it. He can respond to her cues with warmth, but also with control. And believe me, folks, that control makes you more attractive, not less. Many women are tired of men who either miss every signal or misread every signal through hunger. The rare man is the one who notices, respects, and responds with steady confidence. So when you sense intimate cues, breathe first, stay present, match the energy without forcing the outcome. If the moment is warm, let it build. If there is uncertainty, slow down. If she pulls back, honor it instantly. No wounded ego, no pressure, no childish frustration. That is how trust deepens. Desire grows best where safety is real, where people feel seen, and where neither person has to defend their boundaries. If you are ready to notice desire with discipline, write this in the comments. I read calmly. Stay with me because the next part shows how to respond without rushing when the moment starts to feel charged. Number 9. Respond without rushing. Let's be real, folks. The moment gets dangerous when the energy turns warm and a man starts thinking with hunger instead of judgment. She moves closer. She asks how she looks. She holds eye contact a little longer. She talks about attraction, desire, or the kind of connection she has not felt in years. Suddenly the room has tension, and if you rush, you can ruin what patience was building. A high-value man responds without rushing. That does not mean he acts cold. It does not mean he pretends he did not notice. It means he has enough control to let the moment breathe. He can feel the pull without grabbing at it. He can enjoy her feminine energy without turning needy. He can let desire rise while still keeping respect in front of impulse. Think about Daniel, 55, a commercial insurance broker in Seattle. He had been seeing Karen, 49, a woman who owned a small fitness studio. Karen was strong, elegant, and playful, but she was careful with trust. On their fourth date, they were sitting at a quiet wine bar after dinner. Karen had worn a dark dress, nothing loud but confident. She asked Daniel, "Do you like this on me?" Now, a careless man would have gone straight for the body. A nervous man would have fumbled and said too much. Daniel did neither. He looked at her, calmly smiled and said, "Yes, it suits you. You look confident in it, and that is what I noticed first." Karen smiled because she felt seen, not scanned. Later that night, walking to the car, she stood a little closer. Her hand brushed his arm and stayed there for a second. Again, Daniel did not rush. He did not turn one signal into a full green light. He slowed his pace, looked at her, and let the moment become clear. When she leaned in, he matched her gently. When she relaxed, he stayed present. No pressure, no sudden intensity, just controlled masculine response. That is the art. Many women appreciate a man who can read warmth without panicking. They want to know he notices the tension, but they also want to feel that he will not use that tension against their comfort. If every soft signal makes you accelerate, she starts guarding herself. If every playful moment makes you push for more, the attraction turns into defense. Responding without rushing means you let her comfort guide the pace. You notice her tone, her eyes, her body language, and her willingness. You do not assume, you do not pressure, you do not punish her if she slows down. You stay relaxed enough that she can keep opening, because she knows you are not going to turn the moment into a demand. Daniel understood this. Karen later told him she liked that he was confident but not pushy. That sentence matters, my friend. Confident but not pushy is where a grown man lives. He does not need to prove desire by escalating fast. His desire has weight because it is disciplined. And here is the deeper point. Rushing often comes from fear. Fear the moment will disappear. Fear she will change her mind. Fear another man will move faster. But fear makes your energy heavy. Stoic masculinity says, slow down. What is real does not need to be forced. What is mutual will have space to grow. So when the moment feels charged, breathe, speak less, notice more, compliment with class, match her pace, respect her pause. Let your control make the tension stronger, not weaker. If you are ready to lead desire with discipline, write this in the comments. I respond calmly. Stay close, because the final part shows how to lead with respectful desire and become the man who makes connection feel safe, masculine, and unforgettable. Number 10. Lead with respectful desire. Here is the final lesson, folks. Desire is not the problem. Desire without discipline is the problem. A woman does not want a man who is afraid of his own masculine attraction. She does not want a man who acts lifeless, overly polite, and emotionally flat, because he thinks respect means hiding every sign of interest. But she also does not want a man who lets desire turn him careless, pushy, crude, or blind to her comfort. The high-value man lives in the middle. He leads with respectful desire. That means he can let a woman feel his interest without making her feel hunted. He can compliment her beauty without reducing her to her body. He can hold tension in a conversation without turning it cheap. He can notice her signals, enjoy her feminine presence, and still remain grounded enough to move at the speed of mutual comfort. This is what most men never learn. They think attraction has only two settings: chase hard or act cold. But real masculine leadership is warmer than coldness and calmer than chasing. It says, I see you, I desire you, I respect you, and I am controlled enough to let this unfold without forcing it. That is powerful because it creates safety and tension at the same time. Safety without tension becomes friendship. Tension without safety becomes pressure. But when a man brings both, a woman can relax into the moment while still feeling the spark. She feels protected, noticed and wanted, but not cornered. She feels your strength but also your restraint. That combination is rare, and rare is memorable. Lead with respectful desire by staying present. Listen when she speaks. Watch how she responds. Let your compliments be specific and sincere. If she shares something personal, do not weaponize it later. If she shows vulnerability, protect it. If she gives a subtle cue, receive it calmly instead of rushing to collect a reward. And always remember, this consent is not a technicality, it is part of attraction. Clear comfort, mutual interest and emotional safety make desire stronger, not weaker. A man who respects boundaries is not less masculine. He is more trustworthy with his masculinity. That is what makes women open to him. When you lead this way, even simple moments carry weight. A hug feels steady. A hand on her back feels protective, not possessive. A flirtatious line feels exciting, not desperate. A shared dream feels intimate, not needy. Your presence becomes the kind she can feel in her body and trust in her mind. This is the secret the file is really pointing toward. Women may not always say it directly, but many are drawn to a man who notices, cares, protects, shares, flirts and desires with self-control. Not a man who begs, not a man who guesses wildly, not a man who takes. A man who understands. So lead with respectful desire. Be warm but not weak. Be bold but not reckless. Be attentive but not needy. Let your masculinity create calm, not chaos. Let your desire invite, not pressure. Let your presence say, you are seen here, you are safe here, and if this connection grows, it will grow with respect. That is how a man becomes unforgettable, not by forcing attraction, but by becoming the kind of man whose desire feels disciplined, whose care feels real, and whose presence makes a woman feel both wanted and respected at the same time. Folks, now you understand what many women appreciate, but may never say directly. It is not about guessing wildly, pushing too fast, or trying to impress her with noise. It is about noticing her hidden signals, offering calm care, holding her with presence, flirting with quiet confidence, protecting her with respect, sharing your inner world, and leading desire with discipline. This lesson was about becoming a man who can read the room, respect boundaries, and create connection without pressure. If you want deeper lessons on Stoicism, masculine presence, emotional intelligence, and respectful attraction, join the channel membership. That is where we go further and build the mindset most men never develop. And if this video gave you clarity, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss tomorrow's lesson. Seducing women is a game, and most men are losing before they even speak. Let's be real, folks. You meet a woman, she smiles, gives you attention, laughs at your joke, and you think you are in. Then what happens? You text too much. You compliment too fast. You explain your feelings too early. You try to secure the connection before desire has even had time to breathe. And suddenly, the energy changes. She gets colder. You start chasing clarity. You wonder if you need better lines, better looks, more money, or a more impressive lifestyle. But my friend, that is not the real problem. The problem is, you are playing blind. Attraction has invisible rules. It is built on contrast, not pressure. Mystery, not over-explanation. Emotional stability, not hunger. Quiet leadership, not approval-seeking. A woman does not just feel what you say. She feels your urgency, your restraint, your confidence, and whether your desire is controlled or desperate. This video is not about manipulation, It is about self-command. You will learn why attention is not attraction, how men kill desire too early, why validation must be selective, how controlled mystery keeps her mind engaged, and why emotional stability creates real sexual pull. Once you understand the game, you stop chasing reactions and start leading yourself. And that is when everything changes. Let's get into it. Number 1. See the game clearly. Let's be direct, folks. Most men lose the game before they even understand they are playing one. They meet a woman. She smiles, gives a little attention, laughs at one joke, maybe holds eye contact a second longer than usual, and suddenly the man thinks she wants me. From that moment he stops observing and starts reacting. He texts too fast. He compliments too much. He tries to prove he is serious, respectful, different, loyal, available, safe, and interested. But my friend, attraction does not work that way. The game is not about overwhelming her with effort. It is about understanding perception. A woman is not only listening to your words, she is reading your emotional state. She can feel whether you are calm or urgent. She can feel whether you are choosing her or needing her. She can feel whether your desire is controlled or whether it is already pulling you out of your frame. That is the invisible game. Think about Daniel, 48, a divorced financial consultant in Chicago. He met Rebecca, 42, at a charity dinner through mutual friends. Rebecca was elegant, confident, and had that subtle feminine presence that made men pay attention without her trying too hard. During dinner, she laughed at Daniel's stories. She asked questions about his work. She touched his arm once while making a point. Daniel left that night feeling like he had already won. The next morning he texted her. She replied warmly. Then he texted again at lunch. That evening he sent a long message about how refreshing it was to meet a woman with her energy. The next day he asked when he could see her again. Then he sent another compliment about her smile. From Daniel's view, he was being honest and confident. From Rebecca's view, the mystery disappeared. She had not decided attraction yet. She had only noticed him. She was curious. She was open. But Daniel treated attention like desire, and because he wanted to secure the connection too quickly, he revealed too much hunger too soon. His availability became obvious. His emotional investment became heavy. The contrast vanished. That is what it means to play blind. Most men think seduction begins when they say the perfect line. It does not. It begins before that. It begins in posture, pace, tone, restraint, silence, eye contact, and emotional control. It begins in whether you can receive attention without becoming addicted to it. A high-value man sees the game clearly. He does not rush just because she smiled. He does not assume one good conversation means she is emotionally invested. He does not flood her with validation to keep the door open. He lets the interaction breathe. There is another side to this too. Seeing the game clearly means you stop blaming everything on looks, money, age, or luck. Yes, those things can matter in life, but many men lose attraction not because they lack value, but because they leak need. They make their desire too easy to read. They seek reassurance. They chase certainty. And the moment a woman feels that he needs her reaction to feel powerful, the dynamic shifts. Daniel learned this the hard way. Rebecca slowed her replies. She became polite but distant. He wondered what he said wrong, but it was not one sentence. It was the pattern. He had taken a spark and smothered it with urgency. The trick is not manipulation. The trick is self-command. You slow down. You observe. You stop treating attention like victory. You let her wonder a little. You show interest without surrendering your center. You create space for attraction to grow instead of trying to force it into existence. That is how a man stops playing blind. If you are ready to see the game, clearly write this in the comments. I see the game. Stay with me, because the next part shows why attention can fool a man into killing the attraction he thinks he already has. Number 2. No, attention is not attraction. Let's be precise, folks. Attention feels good, but attention is not attraction. This is the mistake that traps men over and over again. A woman smiles, replies, laughs, asks a question, or gives you a little eye contact, and suddenly your mind starts building a story. She is interested. She wants me. I have a chance. I should move fast before the moment disappears. That is where the problem begins. Attention only means she noticed you. Attraction means she feels pulled toward you. Those are not the same thing. A woman can give attention because she is polite, curious, bored, socially warm, or simply enjoying the conversation in that moment. But desire is different. Desire has emotional movement behind it. It makes her wonder about you, think about you, feel your presence when you are not there, and invest her own energy into the connection. Most men treat attention like proof. A quick reply becomes certainty. A laugh becomes permission. A warm conversation becomes a green light to start giving more. More compliments, more availability, more emotional disclosure, more effort to keep the energy alive. But here is the irony, my friend. The moment you start chasing attention, you often destroy attraction. Why? Because attraction needs space. It needs contrast. It needs her mind to do some of the work. If you rush to fill every silence, explain every intention, and reassure her of your interest, before she has even had time to feel the pull, you remove the mystery. You remove the tension. You become too emotionally easy to read. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." Apply that here. The thing itself is simple. She gave you attention, but your judgment turns it into a story. You decide it means desire. You decide it means success. You decide it means you must act quickly. Then you become disturbed, excited, needy, and reactive. That reaction changes your energy. A grounded man does not overvalue attention. He appreciates it, but he does not worship it. He can enjoy a woman's smile without making it the center of his day. He can receive a message without instantly increasing his investment. He can let a conversation be good without trying to lock it down like a contract. That calmness is attractive because it shows emotional independence. Marcus Aurelius warned against living for applause. In attraction, attention is a form of applause. If you need it, you become dependent. If you chase it, you become predictable. If your mood rises and falls based on whether she reacts warmly, she can feel that your center is not inside you. It is in her hands. And no strong attraction grows when a man hands over his center too early. So how do you know the difference between attention and attraction? Watch behavior over time. Attention is a moment. Attraction creates movement. Does she make effort? Does she ask deeper questions? Does she create opportunities to see you? Does she remember details? Does she invest emotionally, not just respond socially? Does her energy show curiosity when you are not pushing? That is, what you observe. A high-value man does not chase responses. He watches patterns. He does not get drunk on a little attention. He allows the interaction to breathe. He understands that attention can happen quickly, but attraction needs rhythm. Warmth, space, curiosity, restraint, then more warmth. That rhythm creates pull. Seneca said, "The greatest power is self-command." That is the key. When attention appears, command yourself. Do not rush. Do not overtext. Do not overpraise. Do not turn one spark into emotional pressure. Let her attention meet your calm. Let her curiosity meet your standards. Let her wonder whether she has your full interest yet. Because when a woman only gets your attention after she has shown real investment, your attention becomes valuable. When she gets it instantly just because she smiled, it becomes cheap. So remember this clearly. Attention is not the prize. Attraction is not built by collecting reactions. Attraction grows when your presence has weight, your energy has restraint, and your desire is controlled enough to let her feel the space between you. If you are ready to stop confusing attention with attraction, write this in the comments. I know difference. Stay with me, because the next part reveals the fastest way men kill desire by trying to secure it too early. Number 3. Stop killing desire early. Let's be brutally honest, folks. Most men do not kill desire by making one terrible mistake. They kill it slowly by trying to secure it too early. A woman shows interest, and instead of letting the tension breathe, he starts trying to lock it down. He texts more. He compliments more. He explains his intentions too soon. He asks where things are going before she has even had time to feel the pull. He thinks he is being clear, mature, and emotionally available. But she feels pressure. That is the part most men do not understand. Desire does not like being grabbed by the throat. It needs space. It needs rhythm. It needs curiosity. It needs the woman to wonder, lean in, evaluate, and emotionally invest on her own. When a man rushes to confirm everything, he removes that process. And once that process disappears, attraction starts going flat. Think about Robert, 49, a sales director in Atlanta. He met Michelle, 43, at a friend's birthday dinner. Michelle was stylish, confident, and had a soft laugh that made Robert feel like the room had narrowed down to just the two of them. The conversation was easy. She asked about his life. She smiled when he teased her. She even texted him first the next morning saying she had a good time. Robert took that as certainty. By day 2, he was sending good morning texts. By day 3, he told her he had not felt this kind of connection in years. By the weekend, he was asking when he could see her again, then asking if she was still interested, because her replies seemed shorter. Michelle did not get angry. She did not insult him. She simply pulled back. Robert thought, what happened? We had chemistry. And he was right. They did have chemistry, but chemistry is not a contract. Chemistry is a spark. And Robert smothered the spark by trying to protect it too tightly. He was afraid to lose it, so he squeezed it until it could not breathe. My friend, this is one of the deepest truths in attraction. Desire is not convinced. Desire is allowed. You do not talk a woman into feeling pull by giving her every thought, every compliment, every explanation, every reassurance. You let your presence create the pull, then you give it room to grow. This does not mean acting cold. Do not twist it. A mature man can show interest. He can say he enjoyed the evening. He can plan a date. He can be warm and direct. But he does not flood the connection with emotional certainty before she has earned that level of access. He does not make her responsible for calming his fear of loss. That fear is what kills desire early. Robert's problem was not that he liked Michelle. His problem was that he needed to know too quickly whether Michelle liked him back. That need leaked through everything. His pacing, his texts, his compliments, his questions. And once she felt that need, the masculine tension disappeared. A high-value man does something different. He lets a good moment stay good without trying to own it. He sends one clear message, then returns to his life. He plans with confidence, but he does not chase confirmation. He allows silence without panicking. He understands that uncertainty is not always danger. Sometimes uncertainty is where attraction grows. So stop killing desire early. Stop rushing the reveal. Stop turning curiosity into obligation. Stop making a woman feel like she has to reassure you before she has even decided what she feels. If you are ready to stop rushing attraction, write this in the comments. I stop chasing. Stay with me, because the next part shows why attraction grows from contrast, not pressure, and why doing more can make her feel less. Number 4. Create contrast, not pressure. Now, listen carefully, folks, because this is where most men get attraction completely backward. They think desire grows when they do more. More texting, more explaining, more compliments, more availability, more emotional intensity. But desire does not grow from pressure. Desire grows from contrast. Contrast is the rhythm between warmth and space, between presence and absence, between speaking and silence, between showing interest and returning to your own life. Without contrast, everything becomes flat. And when everything is flat, there is nothing for her mind to lean toward. A man who pressures gives too much of the same energy. He is always there, always available, always trying to keep the connection alive. At first that may feel flattering, but over time it becomes predictable, and predictability may create comfort, but it does not always create pull. The Stoics understood this through the principle of proportion. Not every feeling needs action, not every moment needs words, not every silence needs to be filled. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." In attraction, her reaction is beyond your control. Your pacing is not. Your restraint is not. Your ability to keep your center is not. That is why contrast matters. You engage, then you let the moment breathe. You show interest, then you do not chase reassurance. You compliment when it means something, then you stop. You listen deeply, then you do not over-explain yourself to fill the air. You create a rhythm where your attention has weight because it is not poured out endlessly. Pressure says, "Please feel something now." Contrast says, "I am here, I am present, and I am not desperate to force this." That difference is felt. A woman can often sense when a man is trying to make attraction happen. His energy becomes heavy, his words become too careful, his compliments sound like an attempt to secure approval. His silence feels nervous, not confident. And because he is pushing for a result, she feels less room to naturally want him. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Bring that into seduction, my friend. You do not control whether attraction rises in her, but you control whether you smother the moment with pressure or let it breathe with discipline. This is why doing less but doing it better often creates more pull than doing everything. Fewer words but stronger presence, fewer compliments but sharper ones, less availability but more meaning when you are there, less emotional urgency but more calm, masculine certainty. And folks, if you want deeper members-only lessons on Stoic attraction, masculine frame, emotional control, and how to create desire without pressure or neediness, join the channel membership. Inside we go further into real situations, practical communication, and the mindset most men never develop. Now do not misunderstand contrast as coldness. A cold man withdraws because he is afraid. A calculated man plays games because he needs control. A stoic man creates contrast because he is centered. He can be warm without flooding, interested without chasing, sensual without rushing, present without becoming emotionally dependent. That is what makes him attractive. Think of music. A song with no pauses, no shifts, no rise and fall becomes noise. The beauty comes from rhythm. The same is true in attraction. If you are always giving, always explaining, always available, always leaning in, there is no rhythm. There is only pressure. So ask yourself, where has contrast disappeared? Are you texting because you have something real to say, or because silence makes you insecure? Are you complimenting because you mean it, or because you want reassurance? Are you being available because you choose to be, or because you fear losing your Rhine? Chance, the man who creates contrast, does not force desire. He allows desire to form around his self-command. If you are ready to stop pressuring and start leading with rhythm, write this in the comments. I choose contrast. Stay with me because the next part shows why validating her too much can quietly destroy the attraction you are trying to build. Number 5. Validate less, mean more. Let's be real, folks. Validation is not the problem. Cheap validation is the problem. A woman can enjoy being appreciated. She can enjoy being seen. She can enjoy a man noticing her beauty, her intelligence, her softness, her style, her energy. There is nothing wrong with that. But when a man validates too much, too fast, and too automatically, his words lose weight. What started as appreciation turns into hunger, and hunger is felt. Most men think compliments build attraction. Sometimes they do, but only when they are selective, sincere, and timed well. If you compliment everything she does, agree with everything she says, laugh at every joke, praise every photo, and reassure her before she has invested anything, You train her to feel your approval is guaranteed, and guaranteed approval becomes invisible. Think about Kevin, 47, a regional supervisor in Tampa. He met Sandra, 41, at a wine tasting event. Sandra was attractive, sharp, and carried herself with a kind of mature confidence that made men notice her quickly. Kevin liked her immediately, and because he wanted her to feel special, he started validating her non-stop. You're amazing. You're so beautiful. You're different from other women. I love how strong you are. I can't believe you're single. At first, Sandra smiled. Of course she did. Compliments feel good. But after a while, something changed. Kevin's words became too available. He praised her before she had shown depth. He admired her before she had invested. He gave emotional reward without any real standard behind it. Sandra did not become more attracted. She became more comfortable. That is a dangerous shift. Comfort can be good in a relationship, but comfort without tension can flatten desire. If she already knows you, approve of her, no matter what. If she already knows one smile gets a compliment, if she already knows her beauty makes you lose your center, then your validation stops creating spark. It simply confirms that she has you. Now compare that with Walter, 54, a divorced business consultant in Denver. He started dating Elise, 46, a woman who was polished, playful, and used to men overpraising her. Walter noticed her beauty, but he did not rush to worship it. On their second date, Elise told a story about how she rebuilt her career after a hard divorce. Walter listened carefully. He did not interrupt. He did not shower her with dramatic praise. He simply said, "That took discipline. I respect that." That landed. Why? Because it was specific. It was earned. It was about her character, not just her appearance. And because Walter did not validate everything, that one sentence had weight. Elise remembered it because it felt real, not automatic. This is the lesson, my friend. Validate less, but make it mean more. A high-value man does not use praise to buy affection. He uses appreciation to reflect truth. He does not compliment because he is nervous. He compliments because something genuinely meets his standard. His approval is warm, but not cheap. Respectful, but not needy. Clear, but not excessive. And here is where attraction shifts. When your validation is selective, she starts paying attention to what earns it. She becomes more aware of your standards. She feels that your attention is not just floating around, available to anyone who looks good or gives you a little warmth. It belongs to a man who chooses carefully. That creates respect. Do not misunderstand this. You are not withholding kindness to manipulate her. You are not playing cold. You are not trying to make her insecure. You are simply refusing to make your approval meaningless. Too much validation given too early says, "I need you to like me." Selective validation says, "I see you clearly, and I respond when something is real." Kevin learned this after Sandra drifted away. He realized he had been using compliments to secure her interest. Walter already understood the better path. He let his words stay clean, measured, and grounded. So stop validating to be liked. Stop praising beauty like you are begging to be chosen. Notice more than her body. Notice her effort, her discipline, her honesty, her softness, her intelligence, her emotional courage. And when you speak, let your words have weight. If you are ready to make your approval meaningful, write this in the comments. I choose self-respect. Stay with me, because the next part shows how controlled mystery keeps her mind engaged without lying, hiding, or playing childish games. Number 6. Keep controlled mystery. Let's be honest, folks. Most men destroy attraction because they cannot tolerate being slightly misunderstood. They feel a woman getting curious, and instead of letting that curiosity breathe, they rush to explain everything. Their intentions, their past, their feelings, their schedule, their insecurities, their entire emotional map. And then they wonder why the tension disappears. Controlled mystery is not lying. It is not pretending to be someone you are not. It is not playing childish games or making her confused on purpose. Controlled mystery is the discipline of revealing yourself in layers, It is knowing that not everything needs to be said immediately, and not every part of you needs to be placed on the table just because a woman showed interest. That is self-command. A man without mystery is too easy to read. His attraction is obvious. His availability is obvious. His emotional position is obvious. She knows exactly where he stands before she has had to invest anything. And when everything is fully known too quickly, her mind stops working. There is nothing left to wonder about, nothing left to lean toward, nothing left to discover. Attraction needs curiosity. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be invincible, do not enter into combat with what is not in your control. Bring that into attraction, my friend. You cannot control exactly how she sees you. You cannot control every thought she has. You cannot control whether she understands every layer of you right away. So stop trying to manage her perception through constant explanation. A grounded man does not over-explain. He lets his behavior speak over time. Controlled mystery sounds like this. She asks what you are doing this weekend, and you do not give a full report of every hour. You simply say, "I have a few things I am handling, but I may have time Sunday." She asks about your dating life, and you do not spill every disappointment from the last 5 years. You say, "I have learned to be more selective." She asks if you like her, and you do not panic into a speech. You smile and say, "I enjoy your energy. Let's see where it goes." Clean, honest, calm. That kind of answer keeps dignity on both sides. You are not hiding. You are not chasing. You are not begging her to believe you are valuable. You are giving enough truth to be real and enough space for her mind to stay engaged. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." Controlled mystery comes from that rock-like center. You do not rush because her curiosity rises. You do not collapse because she asks a question. You do not pour yourself out because you want certainty. You stay steady. This is especially important when desire is building. A woman can feel when a man is trying too hard to be fully understood. It often comes from anxiety. He wants to remove all uncertainty. He wants to prove he is serious. He wants to make sure she does not misread him. But too much clarity too soon can feel heavy. It removes the emotional space where attraction grows. Mystery is not silence alone. It is pacing. You share a piece of your story, then you let it sit. You express interest, then you return to your life. You answer honestly but briefly. You reveal your depth through consistency, not speeches. You let time show who you are, instead of trying to sell yourself in one conversation. Seneca said, "What is rushed is rarely lasting. Desire is the same. When attraction is rushed, it often burns fast and fades faster. When it is paced, it deepens. Controlled mystery slows the interaction down. And when a woman has room to wonder, she starts investing her own imagination. That is where pull begins. So keep controlled mystery. Do not be vague to manipulate. Do not be distant to look powerful. Simply stop over-revealing from insecurity. Let your life have depth. Let your words have restraint. Let your presence invite discovery. If you are ready to stop explaining everything and start carrying quiet intrigue, write this in the comments. I keep mystery. Stay with me, because the next part shows why emotional stability is one of the strongest signals of masculine attraction. Number 7. Stay emotionally grounded. Let's get very real here, folks. Emotional stability is not boring. It is not passive. It is not weakness. Emotional stability is one of the strongest masculine signals a woman can feel, because it tells her something deeper than words ever could. It tells her you can handle yourself. Most men think attraction is created by intensity. Big reactions, fast replies, long explanations, strong emotion, constant reassurance. They believe if they show enough passion, she will feel desired. But passion without grounding becomes noise. And noise makes a woman's nervous system pull back. A grounded man is different. When she is warm, he enjoys it without losing control. When she is distant, he does not panic. When plans change, he does not collapse. When she tests the mood, he does not become defensive. His energy stays steady. Not cold, not detached in a dead way. Steady. Think about Chris, 47, a recently divorced engineer in Austin. He started dating Laura, 42, a marketing consultant who was attractive, sharp, and used to men becoming emotionally reactive around her. Laura had dealt with men who over-pursued, argued, sulked, or tried to make her feel guilty whenever she needed space. One Friday afternoon, Laura cancelled dinner only 2 hours before they were supposed to meet. She said work had drained her and she needed to stay home. Old Chris would have felt rejected. He might have asked, "Are you sure?" or "Did I do something?" Or worse, he might have tried to reschedule immediately to calm his anxiety. But this time Chris stayed grounded. He replied, "No problem. Get some rest. We can find another time if it makes sense." Then he put the phone down and went on with his evening. He did not punish her. He did not chase. He did not send a second message. He met a friend for dinner, handled his own life, and slept fine. Laura noticed, not because Chris played a trick, because he did not emotionally collapse. His calm made her feel something she was not used to feeling, safety mixed with respect. The next day she reached out and suggested a new plan. She was more engaged because his steadiness changed the emotional weight of the interaction. That is the power of being grounded. A woman can feel when a man needs her reaction to feel okay. She can hear it in his tone. She can sense it in how fast he explains himself. She can feel it when he becomes tense because she is not giving him the reassurance he wants. And once she feels that, attraction starts to carry emotional burden. No woman wants to feel like she is responsible for holding a grown man's nervous system together. A grounded man does not need her to regulate him. He has his own life, his own purpose, his own center. That does not mean he never feels disappointment. Chris still felt a small sting when Laura cancelled. He is human, but he did not let that sting drive his behavior. That is the difference between emotional suppression and emotional regulation. Suppression says, "I feel nothing." Regulation says, "I feel it, but I choose my response." That is Stoic masculinity in action. If she is warm, receive it with calm. If she is distant, stay centered. If she changes plans, keep your dignity. If she challenges you, answer without defensiveness. If she goes quiet, do not chase the silence like a starving man looking for a crumb. Stay emotionally grounded. This is especially powerful for men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. At this stage, attraction is not only about excitement, it is about presence. A woman wants to feel that your desire has maturity behind it, that you can create tension without chaos, that you can lead without needing applause, that you can stay steady when the room gets uncertain. Chris did not win Laura's attention by reacting harder. He became more attractive by not needing to react at all. So build your emotional ground. Train your body. Strengthen your routine. Stop making one woman's mood the weather of your entire life. A man who is grounded becomes a place of calm in a noisy world, and that calm can be deeply magnetic. If you are ready to stop reacting and start standing firm, write this in the comments. I stay grounded. Stay with me because the next part shows why women often test your frame without saying a word and how most men fail before they even realize what happened. Number 8. Pass her silent tests. Let's get something straight, folks. Not every test is manipulation. Not every delay, challenge, or quiet moment is some evil game. Sometimes a woman is simply observing what kind of man you are when the interaction stops being easy. That is the part most men miss. They think attraction is only built when things are smooth. Good conversation, fast replies, easy laughter, warm energy. But real attraction is often tested in the small moments of friction. A delayed text, a change of plans, a teasing comment, a disagreement, a silence that feels uncomfortable, a question that challenges your confidence. She may not announce it. She may not even consciously think, "I am testing him now." but she is watching how you carry yourself. Does he panic? Does he over-explain? Does he chase reassurance? Does he become defensive? Does he bend too fast to be liked? Or does he stay calm, respectful and centered? That is the silent test. Epictetus taught that difficulties reveal what men are. Anyone can look confident when everything goes his way. But the moment pressure appears, the truth leaks out. A man who is only pretending to have frame will lose it quickly. A man who truly has self-command stays himself under pressure. This is where most men fail. She replies late, and he sends another message. Test failed. She changes plans and he becomes cold or needy. Test failed. She teases him lightly and he gets defensive. Test failed. She disagrees with him and he abandons his opinion to keep her approval. Test failed. She goes quiet and he fills the silence with nervous talking. Test failed. Passing does not mean dominating her. It does not mean being rude, distant, or acting like you do not care. Passing means remaining solid. You keep your tone calm. You keep your humor. You do not collapse into approval seeking. You do not punish her emotionally. You do not lose yourself trying to manage the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." If she becomes sharp, you do not become sharp. If the moment gets tense, you do not become tense. If she throws a little challenge, you do not throw your dignity away trying to win. You respond from principle, not ego. A silent test often asks one question: is this man emotionally solid? If the answer is yes, she relaxes deeper. Not because you passed some childish game, but because your behavior tells her you can be trusted with tension. You can hold your position without becoming aggressive. You can hear discomfort without falling apart. You can handle uncertainty without chasing it. That creates respect, and respect is fuel for attraction. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." In attraction, small adversity proves frame. A woman does not only listen to what you say about confidence, she watches whether confidence survives pressure. So when a silent test appears, slow down. Do not rush to fix the mood. Do not explain your value. Do not beg for clarity. Do not attack. Observe. Breathe. Respond cleanly. If the situation deserves a boundary, set one. If it deserves humor, use humor. If it deserves silence, let silence stand. A high-value man does not try to win every moment. He tries to stay aligned with himself. That is how you pass. You stop arguing your worth and start embodying it. You stop treating discomfort as danger. You stop letting small shifts in her mood pull you out of your own center. And over time, she begins to feel that you are not easily moved. That steadiness becomes part of your sexual presence, because a man who cannot be shaken easily is a man who feels safe and strong at the same time. If you are ready to hold your frame under pressure, write this in the comments. I hold frame. Stay with me because the next part shows how soft dominance makes you sexually felt without forced pressure or loud performance. Number 9. Lead with soft dominance. Let's be clear, folks. Soft dominance is not force. It is not control. It is not raising your voice, taking over the room, or trying to prove you are the strongest man nearby. That kind of performance usually comes from insecurity, not power. Soft dominance is different. It is calm leadership. It is presence with authority. It is the quiet ability to set direction without needing to dominate. A woman feels it when a man can make a decision, hold his frame, speak clearly, and move with certainty without making her feel pressured, dismissed, or controlled. That is what makes it powerful. Think about Jason, 48, a regional manager in Nashville. He had been dating Nicole, 41, a divorced attorney who was intelligent, attractive, and used to men either overperforming or becoming passive around her. Nicole had a strong personality. She asked direct questions. She changed her mind often. She liked seeing whether a man could stay steady beside her energy. On their third date, plans got messy. The restaurant was too loud. Nicole suggested another place. Then she changed her mind again. Then she said, maybe we should just call it a night. Old Jason might have collapsed into approval seeking. He might have said, whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, I'm fine with anything. He would have thought he was being easygoing. But easygoing without direction can feel weak. This time, Jason listened. He did not get irritated. He did not argue. He simply looked at her, smiled and said, let's go to the Italian place 2 blocks over. It's quieter, the food is better, and we'll actually be able to hear each other. No pressure, no debate, no performance. Nicole paused, then smiled. She relaxed because Jason did not collapse into indecision. He did not need her to carry the whole moment. He led calmly, and because his leadership had no ego in it, she could lean into it. That is soft dominance. It is not about making every decision for a woman. It is about being willing to carry direction when the moment needs direction. It is about not outsourcing your confidence to her approval. It is about saying, this is what I choose, while still respecting her comfort and response. A lot of men lose attraction here because they think being respectful means becoming shapeless. They never choose. They never disagree. They never guide. They wait for her to decide everything, then wonder why the chemistry feels flat. But attraction often needs polarity. If both people are floating with no direction, the energy becomes dull. Soft dominance creates polarity without pressure. It shows up in your eye contact, your pacing, your pauses, your ability to speak less but mean more. It shows up when you hold your opinion calmly, instead of changing it the second she challenges you. It shows up when you plan the date instead of saying, I don't know, what do you want to do, over and over again. It shows up when you can be warm and firm at the same time. Jason understood this. Later, Nicole told him she liked that he had made the call without making it a big deal. That sentence matters, my friend. He did not impress her by trying to impress her. He simply stood in his own decision. That is the trick. Soft dominance is leadership without pressure. It is confidence without performance. It is decisiveness without disrespect. It lets a woman feel your masculine presence because you are not asking permission to exist in the interaction. So, lead calmly, choose clearly, listen first, then move. Do not become aggressive. Do not become passive. Stand in the middle where strength and respect meet. If you are ready to lead without forcing, write this in the comments. I lead calmly. Stay with me because the final part brings everything together and shows why governing yourself first changes the entire game. Number 10. Govern yourself first. Here is the final shift, folks. Seduction is not really about controlling a woman. It is about controlling yourself so deeply that attraction has room to form without pressure, neediness, or emotional noise. Most men never understand this. They spend years looking for better lines, better tactics, better ways to text, better ways to flirt, better ways to make her feel something. But all of that stays weak if the man behind it is still ruled by hunger. If your confidence depends on her response, your frame is not real. If your mood rises when she is warm and collapses when she is distant, you are not leading the interaction. You are being led by it. Govern yourself first. That means your first question is no longer, how do I make her want me? Your first question becomes, am I acting from discipline or from need? That one question changes everything. When you act from need, you rush. You explain too much. You validate too easily. You chase certainty. You turn small signs of attention into proof and small moments of distance into panic. Your energy becomes unstable and she feels it. When you act from discipline, your energy changes. You speak slower. You listen better. You allow silence. You let interest build without grabbing at it. You can show desire without becoming desperate. You can lead without forcing. You can walk away from a dynamic that requires you to abandon your own standards. That is self-command. Every lesson in this video points back to that one place. Attention is not attraction, so govern your judgment. Desire dies when you secure it too early, so govern your impatience. Attraction grows from contrast, so govern your overgiving. Validation loses power when it is cheap, so govern your approval. Mystery works when it is controlled, so govern your need to explain. Emotional stability creates pull, so govern your reactions. Silent tests reveal frame, so govern your ego. Soft dominance creates polarity, so govern your indecision. Do you see it now? The real game is internal. A man who governs himself stops begging reality to comfort him. He does not need every text answered fast. He does not need every silence explained. He does not need a woman's approval to remember his value. He observes. He chooses. He responds from his standards, not from his fear. This does not make him cold. It makes him clean. Clean in his intention, clean in his communication, clean in his desire. A woman can feel when a man is not trying to take something from her emotionally. She can feel when he is not performing for validation. She can feel when his interest is real but his center is still his own. That is why self-command becomes attractive. It makes your presence heavier, not loud, not aggressive, heavier. You enter the room with less need. You speak without trying to impress everyone. You flirt without chasing a reaction. You make decisions without apologizing for having direction. You let moments breathe because you are not terrified of losing control. And here is the deeper truth, my friend. When you govern yourself first, rejection no longer destroys you. Interest no longer inflates you. Mixed signals no longer drag you into confusion. You stop making every woman a judge over your identity. You become the man who can enjoy attraction without becoming addicted to it. That is freedom. So stop trying to master women before you master your own impulses. Stop trying to create desire while your own mind is scattered. Stop trying to lead her while your emotions are being led by every small reaction she gives you. Govern yourself first. Build your life. Strengthen your body. Control your attention. Protect your standards. Speak with purpose. Move with calm. Desire with discipline. Lead with respect. And let attraction become the natural side effect of a man who no longer needs to chase, prove, or explain his value into existence. That is the final trick, folks. The man who governs himself does not need to force the game. He sees it clearly, plays it cleanly, and never loses himself trying to be chosen. Folks, now you understand the real game. Seduction is not about tricks, pressure, or trying to control a woman's reaction. It is about self-command. You learned why attention is not attraction, why desire dies when you rush it, why contrast matters, why validation must have weight, and why emotional stability creates real masculine pull. The lesson is simple. Govern yourself first. When you stop chasing, over-explaining, reacting, and seeking approval, your presence becomes calmer, stronger, and more attractive. If you want deeper lessons on Stoicism, masculine frame, emotional control, and building real attraction without neediness, join the channel membership. That is where we go further and build the mindset most men never develop. And if this video helped you see the game more clearly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss tomorrow's lesson. A rich man can buy her attention, but a grounded man can make her feel desire before he even touches her. That is the truth most men miss, folks. The world keeps telling you that if you want women, you need more money, a better car, a bigger house, an expensive watch, and a lifestyle that looks powerful from the outside. And yes, money matters, stability matters. A man should build, provide, and handle his life. But money alone does not make her respect you. Money cannot replace emotional control. It cannot fake purpose. It cannot create masculine presence if your energy feels weak, needy, distracted, or unstable. It may make her look at you, but it will not make her feel safe with you, drawn to you, or deeply connected to you. That is why some wealthy men still get rejected, cheated on, ghosted, or forgotten. while another man with less money walks into the room, calm, focused, disciplined, and somehow she cannot stop noticing him. Because women do not only respond to what you own, they respond to what you carry. Your calm, your confidence, your purpose, your integrity, your ability to lead without controlling, listen without fixing, and stay steady when life gets hard. In this video, you will discover 10 things many women secretly value more than money, and how Stoic wisdom helps you build them from the inside out. Because money may open the door, but presence, emotional strength, and quiet masculine power make her want to stay. Let's get into it. Number 1. Build high-value presence. Let's be real, folks. Money can make a woman look at you, but presence is what makes her feel you. There is a kind of man who does not need to speak loudly, flash his watch, or announce what he owns. He walks into a room and people feel something shift. Not because he is trying to dominate, not because he is performing confidence, but because his energy is calm, grounded, and self-possessed. That is high-value presence. It is in the way he stands without fidgeting, the way he speaks slowly, not because he is unsure, but because he is not rushing for approval, the way he listens without looking distracted, the way he looks a woman in the eyes without begging her to validate him. His body says, "I know who I am," even if no one claps for it. And women feel that deeply. Think about Marcus, 54, a restaurant owner in Scottsdale. He was doing well, but he was not the richest man in the room. One evening, he attended a private dinner where several men were clearly trying to impress Olivia, 47, an interior designer with elegance, confidence, and sharp instincts. One man talked about his new boat. Another kept mentioning his real estate deals. Another complimented Olivia every few minutes, hoping one of those compliments would open the door. Marcus did something different. He stayed relaxed. He greeted people by name. He treated the waitress with respect. He did not interrupt. He did not chase Olivia's attention. But when she spoke, he listened fully. When he answered, his words were clean and measured. He did not lean in too hard. He did not try to prove he was important. He simply occupied his space like a man who did not need to be chosen to feel valuable. Olivia noticed him more than the men trying harder. Why? Because high-value presence is not noise, it is weight. A woman may enjoy luxury, she may notice success, she may appreciate ambition, but what makes her body relax and her curiosity rise is often something deeper. It is the feeling that this man is stable. This man is not easily shaken. This man does not need to perform masculinity because he already carries it. That is what money cannot fake. Some men have the suit, the car, the expensive dinner, and still feel forgettable because their energy is needy. They need her to be impressed. They need her to laugh. They need her to notice the lifestyle. Their confidence depends on her reaction, and a woman can feel that pressure. A high-value man does not pressure the room. He anchors it. Presence comes from how you live when no woman is watching. Do you keep your word? Do you control your emotions? Do you take care of your body? Do you move with purpose? Do you respect people who cannot do anything for you? Do you stay calm when someone challenges you? That is where presence is built. Marcus did not win Olivia's attention by chasing it. He became noticeable because he was not performing for it. Later, she asked a mutual friend about him. Not because he bragged, not because he bought the room, because he felt different. That is the lesson, my friend. Build the kind of presence that speaks before you sell yourself. Walk slower. Listen deeper. Speak cleaner. Stop fidgeting for approval. Stop becoming louder around powerful men and smaller around beautiful women. Let your calm become your signature. Because money may open the door, but high-value presence is what makes her remember you after you leave. If you are ready to build presence from the inside out, write this in the comments. I carry presence. Stay with me, because the next part shows how social influence can make a woman trust your value before you ever try to impress her. Number 2. Master social influence. Let's be honest, folks. A woman does not only watch how you treat her, she watches how the world responds to you. She notices how people greet you. She notices whether men respect you, whether women feel comfortable around you, whether strangers relax in your presence, whether you treat the waiter with respect, and whether your friends actually trust your word. This is social influence, and it often speaks louder than money. You do not need to be famous. You do not need to be the loudest man in the room. You do not need to perform, brag, or force attention. Real social influence is quieter than that. It is the ability to move through people with ease, warmth, respect, and calm, masculine control. A man with social influence makes others feel seen. He remembers names. He asks good questions. He listens without checking his phone. He does not interrupt just to prove he is smarter. He does not compete for attention like a boy trying to be chosen. He can speak to the business owner and the bartender with the same grounded respect. That kind of man creates trust around him, and women feel trust. Here is why this matters, my friend. When a woman sees that other people respect you, she does not need to rely only on your words. Your environment speaks for you. If people enjoy being around you, if men listen when you speak, if your circle values your presence, it signals that you belong, and belonging is powerful. A man who is socially respected feels safer to trust. This is not about popularity. Popularity can be noise. Social influence is deeper. It means people sense your character. They know you are not fake. They know you can handle yourself. They know your presence adds something to the room instead of draining it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That applies perfectly here. Do not tell people you are high value. Live in a way that makes people feel it. Keep your word. Show respect. Bring calm into social spaces instead of insecurity, ego, and tension. A woman may be attracted to your confidence, but she becomes more curious when she sees that others trust your confidence too. That is social proof. If she sees you isolated, bitter, awkward with people, rude to service workers, or desperate for approval, something in her pulls back. Because deep down she is asking silent questions. Can he connect with people? Is he respected by his circle? Does he create safety or pressure? You answer those questions through behavior. This is where many men make a mistake. They think attraction is only about private chemistry. But the way you move socially affects how she feels privately. If you are tense in public, she feels it. If you are rude to others, she remembers it. If you are needy for attention, she senses it. But if you are calm, socially aware, and respected without trying too hard, your masculine presence becomes stronger. Mastering social influence starts small. Look people in the eye. Speak clearly. Remember names. Do not gossip like a weak man. Do not chase laughs at the cost of your dignity. Build real friendships. Keep your promises. Learn to make people feel comfortable without becoming a clown. Be generous with respect, but selective with access. That balance makes you magnetic. A woman may admire money, but she often trusts the man who is welcomed, respected, and steady among others. His value has already been tested in the real world. His presence has weight beyond private words. So build social influence not to impress her, but because a man should know how to move through the world with grace, strength, and respect. If you are ready to become a man whose presence earns trust, write this in the comments. I build trust. Stay with me because the next part shows why real self-confidence is felt before you ever try to prove it. Number 3. Carry real self-confidence. Let's be real, folks. Real self-confidence is not loud. It does not need to brag, flex, or prove. It is not the man who walks into the room trying to make everyone notice him. It is the man who enters calmly because he already trusts himself. And women feel that before you speak. Confidence is in your posture, your pace, your eye contact, your voice, the way you make a decision without apologizing for having a direction. It is in the way you do not shrink around beauty, money, or status. A woman can sense when a man is trying to impress her, and she can sense when a man is simply grounded in who he is. Think about Robert 52, a physical therapist in Austin. He met Claire, 46, at a friend's dinner party. Claire was attractive, intelligent, and used to men trying too hard around her. One man kept exaggerating his success. Another kept throwing compliments at her like bait. Robert did not compete. He listened. He smiled. He spoke when he had something worth saying. When Claire challenged one of his opinions, he did not become defensive or rush to agree with her. He simply said, "I see it differently," then explained himself calmly. That moment caught her attention, not because Robert dominated the conversation, because he trusted his own mind. He was respectful but not weak, open but not approval-seeking. That is real confidence. Most men confuse confidence with performance. They think confidence means being flashy, sexually aggressive, or always having the perfect line. But confidence is quieter than that. It is internal power. It is the feeling that even if she does not choose you, you do not lose yourself. That is why it is more attractive than money. Money can create the image of confidence, but it cannot create the reality. A man can wear an expensive suit and still radiate insecurity. He can drive a luxury car and still need her validation. He can pay for the best dinner in town and still feel nervous if she does not respond the way he hoped. A confident man does not need the room to confirm his worth. Robert did not try to win Claire. He simply showed up as himself. Later that night, Claire told her friend, "He feels different. He doesn't seem like he needs anything from me." That sentence matters, my friend. A woman often relaxes around a man who is not silently begging for approval. Real self-confidence is built privately. You build it when you keep promises to yourself, when you train, even when you are tired, when you speak truth without needing applause, when you choose your standards over easy validation, when you can sit alone without feeling empty. Every time you act in alignment with your values, your confidence deepens, and then you stop performing. You no longer need to talk about being high value. You live it. You no longer need to convince her you are different. She feels it in your calm. You no longer need to chase her attention. Your attention becomes something you choose, not something you throw around to feel accepted. That is the kind of confidence women remember. So carry real self-confidence, not arrogance, not ego, not fake toughness. Carry the quiet trust of a man who has tested himself, kept his word, and learned that his value does not disappear when someone fails to recognize it. Because money may impress her eyes, but real confidence makes her feel safe enough to respect you. If you are ready to trust yourself before seeking approval, write this in the comments. I trust myself. Stay with me, because the next part shows why clear direction and leadership can make a woman feel your strength without you ever needing to control her. Number 4. Lead with clear direction. Let's be clear, folks. Leadership is not control. A high-value man does not lead by forcing a woman to follow him. He does not dominate every conversation, make every decision for her, or treat her like she has no voice. That is not leadership. That is insecurity wearing a loud jacket. Real leadership is direction. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows where he is going, what he is building, and what he will not waste his life on. He does not drift through the world waiting for someone else to choose his path. He chooses, moves, adjusts, and keeps walking, and women feel that. Many women may never say it directly, but they are deeply drawn to a man with direction. Not because he controls them, but because his presence feels anchored. He is not floating. He is not confused every time life gets difficult. He is not asking her to become the compass for his entire life. That matters, my friend. A man without direction creates anxiety. He may be kind. He may be attractive. He may even have money. But if he cannot decide, cannot lead himself, cannot say yes or no cleanly, and cannot move toward a meaningful future, something in the connection starts to feel unstable. Leadership begins with leading yourself first. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That is leadership in one sentence. Stop talking about what kind of man you want to become. Start becoming him. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start moving with the information you have. Stop asking life to remove every obstacle before you act. A woman respects a man who can decide. That does not mean he is always right. A leader will make mistakes, but a strong man can make a mistake, own it, learn, and correct course. Weak men avoid decisions because they fear blame. Strong men understand that no direction creates more damage than imperfect direction. Think about it in everyday life. When you plan a date, do you always say, "I don't know, whatever you want"? Once or twice that may seem polite, but if that is your whole personality, it becomes heavy. A woman does not want to manage every moment. Sometimes she wants to feel your direction. I know a place, 7 o'clock, where something comfortable, simple, calm, clear. That kind of leadership feels masculine because it removes confusion without removing her choice. And folks, if you want deeper members-only lessons on Stoic leadership, masculine direction, emotional control, and becoming the kind of man women naturally respect, join the channel membership. Inside, we go further into practical frameworks that help you lead yourself before you ever try to lead a relationship. Clear direction also applies to your life. What are you building? Where are you going? What are your standards? What do you spend your mornings on? What do you refuse to tolerate? What kind of future are you moving toward? If you cannot answer those questions, money will not save you. A woman may enjoy your lifestyle, but she will struggle to trust your path, because deep down she is not only asking what does he have, she is asking, where is this man headed? A Stoic man does not need applause for every step. He simply walks with purpose. He acts according to principle. He makes decisions from values, not fear. He does not outsource his direction to mood, comfort, pleasure, or approval. That is why clear direction is so attractive. It tells her, you are not just existing, you are moving, you are becoming, you are carrying your life with intention. And when a woman feels that she does not feel dragged, she feels invited to walk beside a man who already has a road beneath his feet. If you are ready to lead yourself with clarity, write this in the comments. I lead myself. Stay with me, because the next part shows why purpose makes a man more desirable than any expensive lifestyle ever could. Number 5. Walk with purpose. Let's be real, folks. A man without purpose may still have money, style, and charm, but something in his energy feels empty. He may look successful on the outside. He may drive the nice car, wear the expensive watch, and take a woman to the best restaurant in town. But if his life has no direction, no mission, no deeper reason behind his daily actions, eventually she feels it. Because purpose is not what you talk about. Purpose is what your life reveals. A woman may enjoy comfort, but she is often drawn deeper by movement. She wants to feel that you are headed somewhere, not because she needs you to be perfect, not because you need to have everything figured out, but because a man with purpose carries a different kind of masculine gravity. His attention is valuable because it is not scattered. His time matters because he is building something. His presence feels stronger because his life is not centered around being chosen. Think about Anthony, 55, a high school coach in North Carolina. He was not rich. He drove a 10-year-old truck, lived modestly, and did not impress people with luxury. But he had purpose. He mentored young athletes, trained before sunrise, volunteered on weekends, and was slowly building a community program for boys who did not have strong father figures at home. Then there was Melissa, 49, a successful corporate consultant who had dated men with more money than Anthony. She had been to expensive dinners. She had seen the big houses. She had heard men talk about investments, status, and vacations. But when she watched Anthony talk about the boys he coached, his eyes changed. His voice carried conviction. He was not trying to impress her. He was describing something he was willing to suffer for. That moved her. Not because the mission was glamorous, because it was real. That is what purpose does. It gives a man weight. It tells a woman he is not drifting. He is not living only for weekends, pleasure, and approval. He has something inside him that pulls him forward, even when life gets difficult. And my friend, that is deeply attractive. A man with purpose does not make a woman his entire reason for living. He can love her, he can desire her, he can choose her fully, but he does not collapse his whole identity around her attention. That makes the relationship healthier, because she does not feel pressured to become his mission, his therapist, his motivation, and his emotional oxygen. Anthony did not chase Melissa. He invited her into his world. He told her what he was building. He showed her consistency. He lived his values in front of her. And over time, Melissa realized something important. This man may not have had the flashiest lifestyle, but he had direction. And direction can feel safer than luxury when luxury has no soul behind it. So ask yourself, what are you building? Not what are you posting? Not what are you pretending? What are you actually giving your time, energy, discipline, and sacrifice to? What wakes you up when no one is applauding? What future are you shaping with your actions today? Purpose does not have to be dramatic. It can be your business, your craft, your family, your health, your service, your faith, your creative work, your legacy. But it must be real enough that your life has a spine. Because when a man walks with purpose, he stops begging to be interesting. He becomes interesting. He stops chasing validation. He becomes aligned. He stops asking how to keep her attention and starts noticing whether she can respect the road he is walking. That is the shift. Money may impress her for a moment, but purpose makes her wonder what it would feel like to walk beside you. If you are ready to live with direction, write this in the comments. I walk purpose. Stay with me, because the next part shows why emotional stability can make a woman feel safer than money ever could. Number 6. Stay emotionally stable. Let's be real, folks. A man can have money, charm, and ambition, but if his emotions are unstable, he becomes exhausting to be around. A woman may admire your success. She may enjoy your lifestyle. She may even feel attracted to your confidence at first. But if every disagreement turns into anger, every silence turns into anxiety, every delay turns into suspicion, and every hard moment makes you lose control, eventually, she stops feeling safe. And when safety disappears, desire starts to fade. Emotional stability is one of the deepest things many women value more than money, not because they want a man with no feelings. That is not strength. A man who feels nothing is not stable. He is numb. Real stability means you feel the emotion, but you do not let it drive the car. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. That is the foundation of emotional stability. You cannot control her mood. You cannot control every word she says. You cannot control whether she has a bad day, pulls away, gets quiet, or challenges you. But you can control your response. And your response tells her what kind of man she is dealing with. A weak man reacts. He raises his voice. He becomes cold. He punishes with silence. He sends long emotional messages. He lets pride speak before wisdom has a chance to breathe. Then later, he says, "I was just upset." But my friend, being upset does not excuse becoming unsafe. A strong man responds. He pauses. He breathes. He slows his words. He knows when to speak and when to wait. He can say, "I am upset right now, but I do not want to speak from anger. Let's talk when I am calm." That is not weakness. That is mastery. And women feel that deeply. They feel when your calm is real. They feel when your energy is grounded. They feel when you can sit in discomfort without exploding or collapsing. That kind of man becomes a safe place in a chaotic world. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Remember that. Delay the reaction. Delay the sharp sentence. Delay the text you want to send when your ego is wounded. Delay the accusation. Delay the need to win. A few minutes of self-command can protect a connection that one impulsive moment could damage. This does not mean you accept disrespect. Emotional stability is not passivity. You can have boundaries. You can speak firmly. You can walk away from what is unhealthy, but you do it with control, not chaos. That is the difference. A man without emotional stability makes a woman feel like she has to manage him. She starts choosing her words carefully. She avoids hard conversations. She hides small truths because she does not want to trigger his reaction. Over time, she may still care about him, but she no longer relaxes with him. A man with emotional stability creates the opposite feeling. She can be honest. She can be human. She can have emotions without fearing that his emotions will swallow the room. She can lean into him because he is not easily shaken. That is more valuable than money. Money can pay for dinner, but emotional stability protects the relationship when life gets difficult. Money can create comfort, but calmness creates trust. Money can impress her eyes, but self-control makes her nervous system feel safe. So train this part of yourself. Notice your triggers, watch your tone, learn to pause before speaking. Stop using anger as proof of strength. Stop using coldness as a weapon. Stop letting insecurity write messages your wisdom would never approve. A Stoic man does not deny the storm. He becomes the anchor inside it. If you are ready to become calm under pressure, write this in the comments. I stay calm. Stay with me, because the next part shows why quiet masculine power can make a woman feel your strength without you ever needing to perform it. Number 7. Show quiet masculine power. Let's be honest, folks. Real masculine power does not need to announce itself. It does not shout across the room. It does not interrupt. It does not brag, flex, or try to prove that it is stronger than everyone else. The loudest man in the room is often the one most desperate to be noticed. Quiet masculine power is different. It is not something you perform. It is something people feel, and women feel it fast. It is in the way you sit still without looking uncomfortable. The way you speak only when your words have weight. The way you look someone in the eye without aggression but also without fear. The way you remain calm when other people get loud. The way you do not chase attention yet somehow attention finds you. That kind of power is rare. Think about Thomas, 56, a retired police officer in Nashville. He met Angela, 49, at a community fundraiser. Angela was confident, well-dressed, and used to men trying to impress her. One man kept telling stories about his business. Another kept making jokes too loudly. Another kept finding reasons to mention how much his house was worth. Thomas did none of that. He wore a simple navy jacket. He stood relaxed. He spoke to people calmly. He did not rush his words. When someone interrupted him, he did not fight for the spotlight. He let the moment pass, then continued when the room naturally came back to him. Angela noticed the difference. Later that evening, a small disagreement broke out between two men near the bar. Voices got sharp. People turned to watch. Thomas did not jump in to play hero. He did not raise his voice. He simply stepped closer, looked at both men, and said, "Gentlemen, this is not the place." That was all. No drama, no threat, no performance, just calm authority. And the energy shifted. Angela saw something money could not create. She saw a man who carried power without needing to display it. A man who could influence the room without trying to own it. A man who did not need volume because his presence already had weight. That is quiet, masculine power. It is not about being cold. It is not about acting mysterious just to look important. It is not about pretending you never care. Real masculine power is rooted in self-control. You know you have strength, so you do not need to throw it around. You know you have opinions, so you do not need to force them. You know your value, so you do not beg for recognition. A woman can feel when a man is centered like that. She feels the lack of neediness. She feels the emotional steadiness. She feels that he is not easily provoked, not easily manipulated, not easily shaken by beauty, pressure, silence, or challenge. That kind of man does not have to say, "I am strong." His restraint says it for him. Thomas did not ask Angela for attention. He did not chase her. He did not try to become the most interesting man in the room. But by the end of the night, she found herself curious about him. Why? Because quiet power creates gravity. Most men are addicted to performance. They think masculinity means being seen, heard, praised, desired. But the strongest masculinity often works in silence. It shows up in your posture, your patience, your standards, your calm under pressure, and your refusal to make every moment about your ego. So show quiet, masculine power. Move slower. Speak cleaner. Stop over-explaining. Stop competing with men who need applause. Stop trying to prove your strength to women. Build the kind of strength that does not need advertising, because money may impress her for a moment, but quiet, masculine power makes her feel something deeper. If you are ready to carry power without noise, write this in the comments: I hold power. Stay with me, because the next part shows why consistency and integrity make a woman trust you more deeply than any expensive lifestyle ever could. Number 8. Build trust through integrity. Let's make this simple, folks. A woman cannot feel safe with a man whose words and actions do not match. You can have money, you can have charm, you can dress well, speak smoothly, and create excitement in the beginning. But if you say one thing and do another, if your mood changes who you are, if your promises depend on convenience, trust starts to die. And when trust dies, attraction loses its foundation. Integrity is not just being a nice guy. Integrity means alignment. Your words, actions, values, and energy point in the same direction. If you say you will call, you call. If you make a promise, you keep it. If you claim to respect her, your behavior proves it when you are frustrated, tired, tempted, or disappointed. That is what women notice over time. At first, uncertainty can feel exciting. A little mystery, a little tension, a little unpredictability. But long-term, a mature woman does not want emotional chaos. She does not want to wonder which version of you will show up today. Warm on Monday, distant on Tuesday, defensive on Wednesday, loving on Friday, gone by Sunday. That is not masculine. That is unstable. Consistency is what makes integrity visible. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That is the standard, my friend. Simple, clean, difficult. A Stoic man does not shape his truth around convenience. He does not become honest only when honesty costs him nothing. He does not act loyal only when temptation is absent. He does not perform character in public and betray it in private. He is the same man when no one is watching. That is rare, and rare is attractive. A woman may not say, "I want your integrity more than your money," but she feels it when she does not have to decode you. She feels it when your energy is steady. She feels it when you tell the truth gently, instead of hiding behind excuses. She feels it when you do not make promises just to calm the moment. She feels it when your presence becomes reliable. Reliability is not boring when it comes from strength. Do not confuse consistency with weakness. Being consistent does not mean being predictable in a dull way. It means your foundation is solid. Your humor can still surprise her. Your desire can still create tension. Your life can still have adventure. But your character should not be a gamble. She should not have to wonder whether you will become cruel when angry. She should not have to wonder whether you will disappear when uncomfortable. She should not have to wonder whether your affection is real or just a tool to get what you want. Integrity answers those questions without a speech. A man with integrity builds trust slowly through repetition. He does the right thing once, then again, then again. Over time, she stops listening only to what he says and starts relaxing into what he consistently proves. That is where deeper attraction begins. Because money can create comfort, but integrity creates safety. Money can pay for beautiful experiences, but integrity makes her believe the man beside her will not turn those experiences into emotional confusion. Money can impress, but integrity makes her respect you. So ask yourself honestly, do your actions match your words? Do people know what version of you they are going to get? Do you keep your standards when desire, anger, ego, or loneliness tests you? If not, this is where you begin. Build trust through integrity. Speak less if you need to. Promise less if you must. But whatever you say, honor it. Whatever you stand for, live it. Become the kind of man whose consistency makes a woman feel safe enough to open respect and stay. If you are ready to become steady in word and action, write this in the comments. I stay steady. Stay with me, because the next part shows why a man who keeps evolving becomes more attractive than a man who only stays comfortable. Number 9. Keep evolving daily. Let's be real, folks. A woman does not need you to be perfect, but she needs to feel that you are not finished, not stuck, and not slowly becoming a weaker version of yourself. That is where growth becomes attractive. A man flashy. He did not have a perfect body. He was not the richest man Linda had ever met. But he had one quality that made him hard to ignore. He kept improving. After his divorce, Raymond could have become bitter. He could have blamed his ex-wife, blamed the dating world, blamed age, blamed stress. Instead, he looked at himself honestly. He started walking every morning. Then, walking became lifting weights 3 times a week. He took a business course to improve his shop. He stopped drinking during the week. He began reading before bed instead of falling asleep with the TV on. Linda noticed these things, not because Raymond announced every change, not because he posted motivational quotes all day, not because he tried to impress her. She noticed because his energy changed. His posture got better. His mood became steadier. His conversations became deeper. His confidence became quieter. He was becoming a man who respected his own potential. That is attractive, my friend. Growth does not mean you are never tired. It does not mean you never rest. It does not mean you must turn your life into one endless performance of discipline. Real growth is quieter. It is asking yourself hard questions and not running from the answers. Where am I repeating the same pattern? Where am I making excuses? Where have I become too comfortable? Where am I expecting love while refusing to become better? A man with a growth mindset does not collapse under those questions. He uses them. He does not need shame to move. He uses responsibility. He does not wait for a woman to threaten leaving before he starts changing. He evolves because he has standards for himself. That is what Linda respected in Raymond. One night she told him, "I like that you keep working on yourself." That sentence may sound simple, but it means a lot. She was not saying he was perfect. She was saying he was alive, moving, expanding, not settling into comfort and calling it maturity. Many men stop evolving once they get a woman, a job, a house, or a little success. They relax too much. They stop challenging themselves. They stop listening. They stop learning. They start living on autopilot. And slowly, the same woman who once admired them starts feeling like she is watching them fade. Do not be that man. Keep evolving daily, not for her, for you. Learn something, train your body, fix your finances, upgrade your communication, heal your old reactions, build patience, develop skill, strengthen your faith, your discipline, your emotional control. Become the man your future self can respect, because money can be lost, looks can change, status can shift, but a man who keeps growing stays interesting. He carries motion, he carries possibility. He carries the quiet message that his best years are not behind him. They are still being built. And when a woman feels that she does not just see where you are, she becomes curious about where you are going. If you are ready to keep becoming stronger every day, write this in the comments. I keep evolving. Stay with me, because the final part shows why full presence and real listening can make a woman feel more valued than money ever could. Number 10. Listen with full presence. Here is the final lesson, folks. A woman may enjoy gifts, dinners, travel, and comfort, but one of the rarest things she can receive from a man is this, his full presence. Not half attention, not nodding while checking the phone, not waiting for your turn to speak, not pretending to listen while your mind is already preparing advice. I mean real listening, eyes steady, body calm, mind quiet. No rush, no performance, just you, fully there. That is more powerful than most men realize. In today's world, almost everyone is distracted. People hear words, but they do not absorb meaning. They sit across from each other while mentally living somewhere else. A woman can feel that. She can feel when your attention is split. She can feel when your body is in the room, but your mind is on work, stress, social media, or your own ego. And when she feels unseen, something closes. Full presence does the opposite. It opens trust. When she speaks, you do not need to fix everything immediately. Many men make that mistake. She shares a hard day, and he jumps into solutions. She talks about pressure, and he tells her what she should do. She opens emotionally, and he turns the moment into a problem-solving session. He thinks he is helping, but sometimes she does not need a mechanic. She needs a witness. She needs to feel that you are strong enough to stay with her emotions without rushing to escape them. That is real listening. A man who listens with full presence makes her feel valued in a way money cannot buy. He hears the words, but also the tone beneath the words. He notices the pause, the tired smile, the slight change in her voice when something matters more than she admits. He does not interrupt. He does not compete with her story. He does not turn her vulnerability into a stage for his wisdom. He simply receives her. And my friend, that kind of attention is intimate, not loud, not dramatic, not expensive, but intimate because it tells her, in this moment, you matter. I am not elsewhere. I am not trying to impress you. I am here with you. That is why presence can be more seductive than charm. Charm can entertain her, but presence makes her feel safe. Charm can make her laugh, but presence makes her feel known. Charm may win a moment, but presence builds memory. A Stoic man understands this because presence is discipline. Your mind wants to wander, your ego wants to speak, your impatience wants to fix, your phone wants your eyes, but you choose to remain. You choose to give the moment your full attention. You choose to be the kind of man who does not scatter his energy everywhere. That is strength. Full presence also changes how you speak. You do not need many words. Sometimes a calm question is enough. What part of that bothered you most? Or do you want advice, or do you just want me to listen? That one question can change everything because it shows awareness. It shows restraint. It shows you are not listening for yourself. You are listening for her. But do not confuse presence with passivity. You still have a voice. You still have standards. You still lead your life. Presence does not mean you become her emotional servant. It means when you are with her, you are truly with her. When you listen cleanly. When you respond from calm, not ego. That is the man she remembers. The man who made her feel beautiful without constantly complimenting her. The man who made her feel safe without controlling her. The man who made her feel heard without turning every conversation into a lesson. Money may create comfort, but full presence creates connection. So listen with full presence. Put the phone away. Slow your breathing. Hold eye contact. Let silence exist. Hear what she says and hear what she is afraid to say. Become the rare man who is not just near her but truly there. Because in a world addicted to attention, the man who offers real presence becomes unforgettable. Folks, now you understand why money alone is never enough. Money may get attention, but presence, purpose, emotional stability, integrity, quiet masculine power, and real listening create the kind of attraction that lasts. These are the traits that make a woman feel safe, seen, respected, and deeply drawn to the man in front of her. This lesson was not about becoming rich to impress her. It was about becoming solid enough that your value can be felt without needing to perform. If you want deeper lessons on Stoicism, masculine presence, emotional control, and building the traits women respect beyond money, join the channel membership. That is where we go further and build the mindset most men never develop. And if this video gave you clarity, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss tomorrow's lesson. Thank you for watching, my friend. Stay grounded, stay purposeful, and I will see you tomorrow. 99% of women want this from a man, but they will almost never say it out loud. They want you to notice what they are not saying. That is where most men fail, folks. They wait for direct instructions. They ask, what do you want? What should I do? Tell me what you need. But female desire does not always speak like a business meeting. It often shows up in tone, eye contact, body language, little pauses, the way she moves closer, the way she asks your opinion, the way she softens when your presence feels safe. Maybe you have missed these moments before, my friend. She was tired but never asked for care. She wanted a hug but only stood closer. She wanted to feel desired but tested whether you would notice her dress, her confidence, her quiet signals. She wanted protection, not control, warmth, not weakness, desire, not pressure. A high-value man understands this. He does not rush. He does not guess wildly. He observes. He listens. He respects boundaries. He responds with calm, masculine presence, whether that means a thoughtful compliment, a steady hug, a hand on her back at the right moment, or simply sharing his thoughts and dreams so she feels trusted. In this video, you will learn the hidden things many women appreciate but rarely say directly, and how to respond like a Stoic man with confidence, care, and respect without becoming needy, careless, or too aggressive. Let's get into it. Number 1. Read her hidden signals. Let's be real, folks. A woman will not always hand you a clear instruction manual. She may not say, I need you to notice me. She may not say, I want comfort right now. She may not say, I want to feel desired, protected, understood, or emotionally close to you. But she will often show it. And the man who can read those hidden signals without rushing, assuming, or acting desperate becomes different from the rest. Most men miss this because they are either too distracted or too hungry. The distracted man does not notice anything. He is looking at his phone, talking over her, waiting for obvious words. The hungry man notices too much and turns every smile, every dress, every soft look into proof that she wants him. Both men fail. A high-value man observes calmly. Think about David, 54, a project manager in Denver. He had been dating Rachel, 48, a woman who worked in healthcare administration. Rachel was confident, feminine, and warm, but she did not always say exactly what she wanted. After a long week, she came over to David's place. She said she was fine, but her voice was lower than usual. Her shoulders were tense. She sat closer on the couch than normal, but she did not ask for anything. Old David would have missed it. He would have kept talking about work, turned on the game, or asked what is wrong in a way that made her feel like a problem to solve. But this time he paid attention. He noticed the tired eyes, the quiet body language, the way she leaned toward him without saying much. So he slowed down. He said, "Come here for a second. No pressure, no performance." He put his arm around her, let the room stay quiet, and gave her a steady place to land. Rachel did not need a speech, she needed presence. And because David read the signal, she softened. That is what many women rarely say directly. They want a man who can notice without being told every little thing. Not a mind reader, not a servant. A man with emotional awareness. A man who understands that tone, timing, eyes, posture, distance, silence, and small changes in behavior all carry information. But here is the warning, my friend.